Now we are going to see each and every component practically which is used in the quadcopter. So first we will start with the frame. So here we can see the H frame. The dimensions of this H frame is 12, total 12, 4 sides. So it's something like square. So coming to one more configuration, we are having some X configuration. So this is the plastic frame which is a ready-made one. So if you observe this frame, it is also a type of square having equal distance between the each arm. So these four things are called arms. So to the arms I have already connected BLDC motors. So after we will see what is this type of BLDC motor and how to connect this thing to the controller. So by using this frame we can put all the things like battery, flight controller, receiver in it. So while choosing the frame, the main thing you should keep in your mind is it should eliminate the vibrations coming from the motor. So mostly use the plastic frames. By using these plastic frames we can reduce the vibrations. But coming to this aluminum, this is one handmade one. So by using this type of frames we will get some problems like stability problem. So now we will see how to connect motor to the frame. Here I have already connected 3 motors. So we are going to connect one more motor here. So this is the BLDC motor, which is outrunner. You can see here the outer part is going to be rotate when I rotate the shaft. So this is outrunner motor, and also the inner coil is fixed while outer one is rotating. So the rating of this BLDC motor is 1000 kV. 1000 kV means per 1 volt it is going to be rotate 1000 times. So the maximum voltage we can connect to this motor is 11.1. So if you connect 11.1, it is going to rotate 11,000 times, because per 1 volt it will rotate 1000. So depending upon our applications we have to select particular kV. So higher kV leads to higher RPM, and which will lift a lesser amount of weights. Coming to lower kV like 930,000 kV, these kV motors are used to lift higher amount of weights. So the maximum thrust that this motor can generate will depends upon the propeller connected to it. So if you are using a 10-inch propeller, it will generate a maximum thrust of 800 grams. So total we are using 4 motors. So 4 motors will generate around 2 kg of torque or 2 kg of force. So the entire weight of the quadcopter will be 1 kg. So remaining 1 kg we can keep other things like camera and some other boards on the quadcopter. So after buying the motors, you will get some other things along with this motor. So these are the things you will get along with the motor. One is a bullet connector, which is used to connect the propeller to the motor, and these 4 screws are used to attach this clamp to the motor. This is how we have to attach. So by using these 4 screws, we will connect this clamp, and finally this entire thing is going to be connected with the frame like this with these screws and nut. So now we have 4 motors connected to the aluminium frame. Now we are going to know how to use these bullet connectors. So along with the motors you will get these 3 things. So this is how you have to attach to the shaft of the motor. After that you have to place the propeller and you have to screw it so that the propeller will be attached to the motor. Now coming to the ratings of the motor, without load the motor is going to take 1 amp of current from the battery. So when propeller is connected it will take 10 amps maximum. So here we are having 4 motors which can consume 40 amperes from the battery. So we have to select the controller which can manage this 40 amps. So for that purpose we are going to use ESC's electronic speed controllers. The rating of this ESCs is 30 amps. So for 4 motors we have to use 4 ESCs. So each ESC rating is 30 amp. So this ESC can drive a 3-phase BLDC motor. So output of the ESC is connected to the motor. You can insert it in any direction. So this one is connected to the battery. We will see the battery later. Next, this is BEC which is connected to the flight controller. Here we are having 3 pins, 3 wires. One is black for ground and red one is for VCC and white is for signal. So the pretty feature in this ESC is it can give 5 volts to the flight controller. So we need not to connect any batteries directly to the flight controller. So from this ESC flight controller will get power. So this white one is for the signal. So it is connected to one of the pin of the microcontroller which is present in the flight controller. That particular microcontroller is going to send a pulse width modulation signal with this white wire, and finally this ESC is going to control the speed of the motor. So like that for 4 motors we have to connect 4 ESCs. So all these 4 power connectors are connected parallelly to the battery. These 4 things are connected parallel to the battery. So for that purpose I am going to use a 1-2-4 connector. Means here you have to connect like this. So here you can make this on your own. So make sure that while preparing this cable, this connector, positives and negatives are connected to positives and negatives of the battery. If the polarity is reversed, the battery may get damaged. So 4 ESCs are connected to the 4 connectors. So this one is connected to the battery. So finally 4 ESCs has got power, and these are connected to the motors. So these 4 wires are connected to the flight controller. So from these 4 cables, these ESCs will get a signal so that the motor will rotate.